example, Educating for JNH is revolutionary, and the Early Learning Center is trailblazing a path to rail awareness and responsibility by becoming a part of the Global Design for Change contest. We find out more from the students and teachers of the school.
There's so much fun. The people who want to throw their garbage, you just throw on top of that and keep them falling off. They're all over the place.
When my area is dirty,
saving our Earth.
But how are we going to save our Earth?
Simple. We're going to have chips only once a week.
But I love chips.
The reason we're trying to have snacks once a week is because we're trying to reduce the amount of plastics.
Do you know why? Because plastic stays forever.
On a specific day, like on Wednesday or Thursday or whenever.
Okay.
And then if you bring it on another day,
Yeah.
the teacher won't let you eat it.
Okay.
Kind of snack day.
Yeah.
Make some kind of posters and stick it.
We are from the Design for Change, and we are going to talk about issues.
We thought like what bothered us first. We felt
Garbage was bothering all of us, especially plastic.
plastic never comes apart. Now we thought about like making like posters, and we made a new rules.
When we bring chips on Wednesday,
Reduce, reuse, and refuse. Our new R is refuse. Offers you chips, you refuse to eat it, as in because we're trying to decrease the amount of plastics.
and you should tell other people also to not to. Simple City is green. We're gonna keep it clean. Let's join hands together. Keep it clean forever. If you want it, chips, do it only on Wednesday. Let's reduce, let's refuse, let's reduce. We are the children, walking hand in hand. We are the children, watch us as we stand for liberty and freedom, peace and brotherhood. We are the children, we stand for good.
This is Ankpula. My name is Dishan Pezin. I'm 9 years old. I'm in class 4.
My name is Chugil Mikyo. I'm 11 years old. I'm in 6th grade.
Kuzangpula, naming di Kunzakachi, Ngaluchitami, Ngalodunga Panalui. Kuzangpula, my name is Dichin Chuki. I'm 11 years old and I'm in 5th grade. Kuzampula, my name is Tantichenzo. I'm in 4th grade and I'm 9 years old. Kuzampula, my name is Choing Ufel. I'm 10 years old and I'm in class 5. Garbage is the last thing they would bother with. They would rather just throw it away and pretend it never existed. But for some people, garbage cannot be ignored any longer.
We are from the Early Learning Center and we have made change at our school. To make this change, we had to go through 3 main processes. We had to feel what bothered us about the way we live, we had to imagine a solution, and finally, we had to take action.
After coming together as a group, the thing that bothered us most was the amount of plastic we see all around. Some garbage decompose like paper and food, but plastic is something that never comes apart.
That means that every piece of plastic, since it was invented, is still lying around here, infesting our planet Earth. This means we need to stop the amount of plastic we're consuming because it never comes apart. The problem was clear, but the solution was not so easy. People love the junk food that comes in plastic packages. So how could we convince an entire school of 360 students to give up their precious appetizers? We imagined a school without plastic waste.
The next step was to convince their classmates to stop bringing plastic packages to school. We imagined every day our school will be free of litter except Wednesdays when students may bring non-decomposable packaged food. We calculated that we would reduce plastic on the earth by 131,480 pieces in our school alone in a year.
We started by presenting Snack Day to a micro audience of 160 students. We taught them how to refuse to buy, eat and share food that comes in plastic packages. We went to each class individually to explain to them why we should reduce the amount of plastic by bringing less packaged food to school. As kids, we are the ones who will inherit the earth, including all the trash that comes with it. So, we are the best people to explain why it never comes apart. Now we are here to share our message with you and ask you to begin this new tradition for all schools in Bhutan. Firstly, nothing is of value unless it is shared. Secondly, it will be of much bigger impact if all the principals in Bhutan present Snack Day at their schools. And lastly, together we can make a huge difference. For the sake of our planet, we ask you to join hands with us and reduce plastic. After we presented Snack Tea to our school, we noticed a huge difference. During SUPW, there was hardly anything to clean up. But as time passed, we noticed that some children were bringing packaged food in containers and very few children were being sneaky. Again, we came together as a group and thought of food-focused days.
We decided that on Mondays would be Fruit Day because it's the starting of the week and our parents would have gone shopping on the weekends.
We decided that Tuesday would be Salad Day because it is healthy and it does not come in a package.
We decided that on Wednesdays would be Packaged Food Day. But please look at the picture. The garbage bins are full and it's overflowing. But eventually, we hope that we'll stop plastic altogether. We thought that Thursday would be a good day for our parents to spend time to cook for us. So we decided that Thursday would be Homemade Food Day. We decided that Fridays would be traditional Bhutanese food day because we are supporting our farmers and promoting our culture that way.
A small prayer, lots of traditional Bhutanese food, and the ever-popular French fries with burgers. Homemade, mind you, all in a good Friday lunch.
Design for Change revolves around the notion and a firm belief that children matter in the first instance, and secondly, that children can be empowered to find solutions to problems that bother them. This is a pretty powerful notion, and if children are convinced that they can do it, you don't need any further motivation to facilitate them as teachers. When our students came up with their idea of saying no to packaged food, after going through the process of feel, imagine, do, and share, they realized how much of the change actually lay in their hands. If kids in schools, particularly in the urban areas, reduce their consumption of packaged food, how much of the plastic waste could be reduced? By visiting the landfill as part of their field trips, they were able to visually understand the negative impact of their action and the need for changing that. And they did it by coming up with a regulation to allow packaged food only on Wednesdays and explaining the reasons why to their fellow students. The idea, mind you, is not to enforce through coercion, but learn through a deep-seated understanding of the problem that motivates a child to make that change in his or her life.
26th, 27th, 28th of August. Am I right, Madam Pradhan? VAST. You know VAST? Who knows VAST? Okay, a lot of you know. VAST is organizing an exhibition called Young Zoom on Garbage exhibition on those 3 days. And they have invited us to participate in that, to share our message of change. And they are also, see, we are not the only ones talking about garbage. Everybody's talking about garbage. Everybody is concerned with garbage. In the old days, we did not need to have dustbins. We did not need to have a dump site because everything that our ancestors used were biodegradable. You know, even the butter that we have was wrapped in banana leaves.
What the ELC students came up with to get an idea of how the students in Bhutan can reduce the amount of plastics in the environment was that they came up with this equation. So it's multiplying the number of students anywhere into the number of days in a year, assuming that each individual reduces their usage of plastics by one piece per day. So at the principals' conference a few months back, Madam Dickey pitched the idea of the Design for Change contest and also the ELC's Design for Change initiative, which was to say no to packaged foods. And so then after that, and this was to principals from various parts of Bhutan, like Paro, Thimphu, Ha, and Wangdi, to name a few. And then after that, Ma'am Dickey passed around sign-up sheets for the principals who would be interested in participating in the contest, firstly, and also those who would be interested in endorsing the idea of saying no to packaged foods. So once we got the figures of the number of students in each of these schools, we added them all up. And then these number of students, we put it into the waste reduction equation. And so we multiplied it by the number of days in a year. And the figure that we came up with was unbelievably huge. It was 19 million pieces of plastics per year. And think about it, if all the students in Bhutan can really come together and follow this initiative, then we can reduce by 19 million pieces per year just from 80 schools. So think about what an extent we can reach if we have all the people in Bhutan working for it. And also the Design for Change contest, they've approached ELC to become the global partners, right? So we're the Bhutan partner for the DFC. And if every school in Bhutan comes up with an initiative of their own, which can be replicated at different schools around Bhutan, then imagine how much we can change our society. So, we'd like to invite everyone to join ELC in helping, in empowering the children to be the change.
How many of you brought a traditional Bhutanese snack today?
Kelly has been teaching for almost a year at ELC and is an active member in the Design for Change process.
Maybe you brought datsi. Jamso, what did you bring?
Like Monday to Friday, I always bring rice because rice is good for health. If you bring French fries, it's not good. It's not like it is not food, but it doesn't make you hungry. It makes you hungry when you go back home. So I always bring rice.
You're part of something very exciting and I would say revolutionary as well for students of this age and for a school even, the Design for Change contest that Early Learning Center is involved in. How did you get involved in this?
Well, I think the reason that I was brought here was to help build authentic learning experiences, which means it's different from the kind of learning that happens when a teacher lectures and students just copy from the board. And so this was an avenue that we found that was presented to us in March when Kiran Sethi from Riverside School showed up here, and her eyes were glowing and she was so animated and she was speaking so passionately about this contest. And I think with everything else that was going on, we were a little bit hesitant to do it at first, just realizing how much work it would take with organizing students and documenting everything that was going on. But she laid out the contest in such a way that was so clear for us that all we really had to do was agree to implement the contest and then just keep students on track. And so it was because of her visiting the school that we were offered the opportunity to become Bhutan's country partner. So we took on the responsibility, and I think about 3 weeks later we had done our week of the contest, and now we're in the process of sharing what we've done with other schools around Bhutan.
My name is J.K. Rowling. I'm an author from Great Britain. I have written the Harry Potter fantasy series, the idea of which I conceived while on a train trip from Manchester to London in 1990. My message to you boys and girls is to read, and then read some more.
Love to get love now, Jimle. Pechocha ginti labgo. Te len shule bom joshim le shulu cha shuni di cherere shindugi genku in.
When you said Barack Obama was the first president, that's not true. George Washington was the first one.
He was actually meant to say African American president.
We don't say bucks, we say Newton.
We say neutrons.
Through
Through QST, Quality School Time, and QCT, Quality Class Time, the students are encouraged to think, to be involved, and to act responsibly. This extends even to the teachers. Kiron, also an ELC teacher, has been specially involved.
We've planted beans. We've already sold off carrots. We've sold off spinach. We've sold off beans, tomatoes, and broccoli also.
And you have chili also.
And we are now growing chilies and
Onion.
and maize and onion. So far, I think the Paper Craft Club have reused a lot of materials that have been discarded, like tape rolls, hard covers of notebooks, and old beads, and fabric, old fabric, pieces of fabric that are unwanted, you know. Rinchen, would you like to tell us how you make the brooches?
First, you make this biggest one, then you make smalls. Then keep making unless you think it's okay. Then add one of these. Then you keep it one. First, you pour hot water in one of these. Then you place it the way it should be, and then you wait for a while. You throw out the hot water and put it in cold water. After it's like cold, you take it and attach one of these pins with a glue.
It's got stars and a palm tree. This is really nice. It's 70 each.
70, wow, that is really cheap. How do you intend to make money and feed into the poor for fun?
Speaking of ProH4, Project Helping Hands for Health and Happiness, which is ELC's citizenship program, these clubs actually teach the children to become socially responsible. The cooking, nature and art and craft clubs are the major contributors to the ProH4 fund, which is used for helping the needy. Kiron shares more.
We launched this program in October of last year, 2009, and it was spurred on after Madam Dikki, our principal, visited and attended a leadership training course at the Riverside School in India. And she came back with a host of good practices that was happening there. And of course, we could not, bring everything back and get it working at the ELC. So all of us, we got together and we deliberated and looking at the relevance, the practicality, the application of it all in the ELC context. And so at the end of the deliberation, the House endorsed the citizenship program. A few of our children have actually taken their own initiatives outside of the school and gone ahead and planned activities which generated huge amounts of money that was fed into the ProH4 fund. Two of our 5th graders from last year, they had a face painting stall at the food